Today we be covering, while explaining all the fight scene that occurred in The Boys Season 4 Episode 4. So sit back and enjoy. The episode starts with Homelander visiting the Vought research facility where he was a test subject for his entire childhood. He brought a cake to spice things up. However, all he wanted was to make the research facility team suffer. Where he underwent several tests as a kid, which is a mild way of saying that he was endlessly tortured, so that the scientists could learn about the extent of his powers. As soon as he enters the premises, everyone freezes up because they know that he is one of the most powerful suits out there. Marty, one of the older scientists, almost triggers Homelander by referring to him by his actual name, John. It's interesting that Homelander refers to himself as John when he is talking to himself, but when somebody else calls him John, it irks him. Things are tense, and Homelander makes it even more awkward by asking everyone to dig into the cake he has bought while ordering Marty to tell Barbara to attend this little reunion session immediately. His first victim is Frank, the man who placed him into a human oven to test his resilience to heat when he was a child. Homelander plays with Frank before putting him in the human oven and incinerating him. The second victim is Marty, a man who used to taunt him and call him Squirt. Homelander reveals that Marty used to keep an eye on John when he was locked up in the room with the big red door. Apparently, John figured out when Marty would leave his post and use those moments of true solitude to rub one out. One day, though, Marty returned before John was finished, and he proceeded to endlessly mock the kid and even nicknamed him Squirt. Marty tries to apologize to Homelander, but he isn't in the mood to listen. Instead of forgiving Marty, Homelander tells him to masturbate on the spot while everyone in the room watches and laughs at him, just like Marty did with John. And just to give Marty the push he needs, Homelander tells him that if he doesn't achieve an erection, he is going to laser his Johnson off. A desperate Marty tries everything in his arsenal to do what Homelander has asked him to do, but he fails, and the inevitable happens as Homelander shoots a beam of laser burner off and crushing his head. However, that perspective changes when Barbara enters the lab and calms Homelander down momentarily, reminding him that the staff only followed orders out of fear of him. She explains that he was dangerous as soon as he was born and could have easily broken out of the lab whenever he wanted, but he needed love and approval, a need that they instilled in him to remind Homelander that he is human. Of course, Barbara's attempt to get to Homelander's humanness does not work, as he ends up eliminating the rest of the staff and leaving her to revel in all the gore and guts while trapped in the Red Room. Meanwhile, the scene shifted to Huey as him and Kimiko get attacked by the sniper who seems to have been aiming at Huey and Kimiko, then fire on them. Kimiko spots the scared girl from the Shining Light Liberation Army and realizes that she is there to avenge all the people that Kimiko killed in their warehouse. Inside the building where Kimiko and Huey take cover, Kimiko is severely shot at with a shotgun, making her divide into two. Meanwhile, as the guy who shot Kimiko moved toward Huey, a battle breaks out, which led to Huey managing to kill one of them, while Kimiko takes on a bunch of those soldiers. Then Kimiko calls for a truce so that she can converse with the scared girl. It's revealed that Kimiko used to be the muscle for the Shining Light Liberation Army, and she used to fight its trainees. The girl was one of the recruits, and Kimiko is the one who gave her that scar. Kimiko obviously wants to redeem herself by seeking the girl's forgiveness, but it doesn't look like the girl is in the mood to show any kind of empathy towards Kimiko. Meanwhile, somewhere else, we see as Frenchie get caught by Ezekiel backstage, and they get into a fight. He is violently thrown out of Firecracker's vanity van by Ezekiel. Butcher arrives to tackle the soup, and when Ezekiel stretches one of his limbs to catch Butcher, he uses the liquid nitrogen that he has been carrying since the beginning of this episode to freeze and break it off. Ezekiel uses his other hand to choke out Butcher, and this triggers a blackout. When Butcher regains consciousness, he realizes that he is covered in blood, and the whole vanity van has been painted red with Ezekiel's guts and bones. And then, Annie arrive to rescue Frenchie. They notice the state of the van and wonder what Butcher has done. Firecracker tells her audience and the rest of the world that 6 months ago, Annie got an abortion. She apparently got access to Annie's medical files and exposed them to millions of people. Annie to storm out and confront Firecracker. Annie starts bashing the living daylights out of Firecracker, and it's revealed that this was all part of Sister Sage's plan. She wanted the racist Firecracker to get pummeled, and she ensured that it was all caught on camera so that the footage could be used to tarnish Annie's reputation. The whole situation is then sent to a peak as we see Homelander fill up with blood all over his body. If you enjoy recap and content like this, kindly subscribe to get updated on The Boys Episode 5 next week Thursday.